Hello, Bloodies. Thank you for visiting the crypt, or office, of the Dead and Laughing Show, where the collection of stories is growing almost every night by souls just like yours. I'm glad to have you here as we delve into tales of the unexplainable and the unbelievable. Verses of shadows and specters, witches and weirdos. Did you hear that? Don't worry. Pay no mind to the entity in your area. It likes to wait until you're all alone. Now grab your cuddle corpse and say a prayer that you don't live in these moments. Welcome to Live with the Afterlife. Come on, Mom, I just asked you a simple fucking question. You're telling... Really? God damn it. Oh, hello, Bloodies. You caught me in the middle of a conversation with dear old Mom, aka the devil. You know what, I'm just gonna say real fast, and maybe I shouldn't have moved my hands from that. Whatever, fuck it. I might have fucked up. Mom might be a little stuck here for the moment. I'll finish this after. That bitch has to wait. I was trying to get some info for today's story, because even as a young lad, she told me she didn't know until later on. And she didn't specify everything. She mainly just said, leave it alone. So, with that said, let me get some coffee in my system. Not like it helps, you know, the whole ADHD thing. But, it's not bad. And yes, this is stuff that you shouldn't be fucking around with, but then again, what can it do to a dead guy? Welcome. Hopefully you're in for, well, this one's a creepy little story. This happened throughout my entire life, well, entire childhood. As long as the devil was alive, this happened. This story is called Bird Corpses and Sticks. Now, I have brought this up a couple times, but I never went into full detail. So, let me let you know exactly what the hell used to happen. In this case, I did notice this when I was a little lad. I believe it was a little bit before we moved from Palmdale back to LA. We actually were packing and everything, getting everything ready. And I noticed it, but I didn't draw too much attention to it. It wasn't as if it was like, hey, come over here, play with me. It was more like, oh, it's there. Okay. Mom already told me not to play with dead things. True story, by the way. This one happens when you get curious as a little boy, and, well, you find a dead squirrel. Already going through rigor mortis. Solid body. Look like it was frozen, even though it was hot as hell. We're in the desert. So, yeah. She said, put it down, leave it there. Don't play with those things. Don't play with dead things. So, you know, I seen, what was this little bird? Okay. It's not moving. Didn't think anything about it. Wasn't going to try to scare it. Wasn't going to try to touch it. Because, you know, if it's already dead, the devil already said, don't play with dead things. So, I left it there. Days go by. We move. And at the new apartment that we were in, we were living just outside of West Hollywood. And inside the building, there was a large opening in the center. We were on the top floor. And I remember noticing, leaving the apartment to go to school, and multiple days after that, there was another little bird. But I didn't really question. I thought, oh, maybe it got caught. Maybe a cat caught it, dragged it right here, and somebody scared it off. It wasn't that far from the front door. Think about it now as an adult. They were all near the front door. Didn't make any sense to me then. I didn't think about it. I thought, well, it's just it's a bird. Oh, it's a bird. That was it. That was my thought pattern for that. And I continued on my merry motherfucking day. Which, during that time, it was go to school, get picked on, get bullied by somebody twice my size, and then get into a fist fight. Not even kidding. Not even kidding. And then, sometimes having to walk home and see a couple people making deals, hiding shit in their palms as they went on their fucking way, and realizing later in life, oh, they were selling drugs. Oh, well, alright. Wasn't really that different. It was more and more the same going on with everything. As the days went by, as we lived there, that went from days, months, to a couple of years. And it wasn't, I think we were there for like a year and a half, maybe close to 2, I think. I don't fully remember. But I do remember that I would see the bird there. A bird would just be there. And I did notice underneath his feet was a little stick. It was always straight underneath his feet. I didn't really put 2 and 2 together. I thought, oh, there's a bird here. And then time would go by and I would see another bird. Somewhat in the same place, but never really thinking that, oh, this is strange. It was always, oh, there's something else right here. After that, going to a new home, same shit. At that point, I thought, this is a little weird. My grandmother seen me looking at it one day on the place afterwards. I believe we were in Norwalk at that time. And my grandmother looked at me and went, hey, leave that alone. Come on. What? Leave it alone. Come on. Pretty much acting as if she didn't know what I was looking at. Like, okay. So I walked away. I forgot what the hell we did. But came home. The bird was still there. Okay. My grandma said to leave it alone. So I left it alone. I still seen it. And then when that bird was gone, there would be another one. Like, okay. It didn't make any sense to me. I didn't really fully give a shit either, to be completely honest, because it seemed like a normal occurrence for me by that point. And it was second nature to see a bird there. To see a bird outside our front door that's dead with a twig underneath it. The straightest stick you could find was placed underneath it. I always thought that maybe that was a coincidence. Maybe it was, oh, well, there was a tree in the front. Maybe that's the reason why. And at this point, we were actually living in a house. So I thought, oh, well, all right, whatever. There's cats roaming around. Maybe, I don't know. Same thing. And then I would go on my merry fucking way again and go play with my brothers or do some stupid shit. Fucking have fun with the neighbors, talk shit with people, whatever the fuck. I was just a little kid doing stupid little things. And as I got older, it was secondary. That's it. It was just a moment that I never properly questioned until I was a teenager. And again, seeing it again, another fucking bird. not knowing where they were coming from. This time, I actually started questioning. I started thinking, how many times have I seen this? How many years has this gone by where I've seen a bird laying down, always facing leftward, and having the straightest stick anybody could find underneath its feet. Not even on its feet, or like it's touching it, but like it's just underneath its feet, just a little bit away from its little claws. Always. Every single fucking time. By that point, I thought, somebody's placing this. What the fuck is this? Who's doing this? Why is this always around? Growing up my entire life up to that point, why is this always here? And I started thinking about it, trying to figure it out, waiting to see if I noticed somebody placing them there. I would just always try to find something or anything, any type of evidence showing that, is my family doing it? Is it, I don't know, is somebody a stalker, or is it somebody that's outside of my fucking family, whatever? I had no idea. My mind was racing all over the fucking place, trying to figure out, why the fuck is there always a little bird? And it's always a little bird with a little stick. Finally, I worked up the courage at that point, a couple years after I was first seen. And when I first asked my mother, well, the devil, why is there a little bird there? I actually asked her, instead of like, hey, look what I found. No, I was like, I've noticed this for years, my whole fucking life. And they're always different birds, but they're always small birds. Why is there always a bird placed outside our door with a stick under it? She looked at me, acted completely oblivious, as if she had no idea what the fuck I was saying. She looked at me, what are you talking about? There's always a bird dead outside of our door, placed the same way. Its body the same way. Its little legs always the same, just stick and everything. I've been seeing that for years. I don't know what you're talking about. Just leave it alone. What? You don't know what I'm talking about. So we were out and about that day. I think we had to go to a racetrack. The devil had a gambling problem. But we went to the racetrack, horse races, and came back late. She lost. So, on the way back, the fucking bird was still there. So, I brought it up to her. And it's not as if the bird blended in with anything, because by this point, we were living in an apartment. We were upstairs. It was the same apartment where, in a past story, that I heard a knocking at the door. And when I opened the door, something started knocking inside the house, and I was home alone. That same apartment. I seen it and got back, and I pointed it out. Mom, what? Look. Why the fuck is there? What the hell? I've always seen something like that. Why? And she looked at it, and because it wasn't a little brown bird, it was a blue bird, and it stuck out. And I was like, look at this. And she's like, what? It's just a bird. Maybe it died like that. I don't know. I was like, Mom, there's always a fucking bird with a stick under its feet. Always. I've seen this for years. She told me, shut the fuck up and leave it alone. Don't touch it. Just don't touch it. Don't move it. Just leave it the fuck alone. Like, okay, now you're showing something that you know what the fuck's going on. What is it? Look, leave it alone. Shut the fuck up. Get in the house. Okay, fuck you too, Mom. What the fuck else am I supposed to say? I went inside. Started asking my grandma. And my grandma looked at me and she went, did you touch it? But why is my mom freaking out about that? And why is the first thing you ask is, did I touch it? She's like, did you touch it? Just answer the question, please. And like, no, I didn't touch it. I kind of wanted to, but I didn't touch it. So why is that? Why is that always there? My grandma looked at me dead in the face and said, don't worry about it. I'm like, what? I've always seen this. Why should I not worry about it? Is somebody placing it there? Is that a bad thing? Look, it's not bad, just don't worry about it. Like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this okay? My grandma, who usually would let me know about certain shit, she didn't say anything. She actually held that shut. I was like, why the fuck are you guys acting like that? This time I was questioning, why are you acting like my mom? Without being such a bitch. Why are you saying the same thing as her? What the fuck? But she did. She didn't want to talk about it. I pestered her. I pestered my grandma for it. I was fucking bugging her. I didn't drive her off the walls with it. I just kept bringing it up whenever I could. Whenever I could bring it up, I would bring it up. I would ask her. And she would just tell me, don't worry about it. Did you touch it? Like, no, I didn't touch it, but why? She wouldn't say. She wouldn't fucking say. She would just ask me if I touched it. So as time went by, I would still see it. I would still see different little birds that are clearly dead, just laying there with a little stick under it. I had no idea what the fuck was going on. My mind started to get into me, honestly, and at that point in time, I was ingesting questionable things and smoking things and hitting the bottle pretty fucking hard. So, I mean, I started getting a little paranoid. That happens. But I started overthinking it. I started getting a little bit tripped out at the fact that this is happening. And neither of them want to say anything. Is it a bad thing? Is it a good thing? What is it supposed to be? I did notice that time periods when the birds were gone, weird shit would happen. I'm not like, oh, things would go flying off the walls and all this crazy shit. No, it was just weird little things would happen. When the knocking on the door happened, there was no bird in front of our door. When I would hear strange sounds in our older apartments, there was no bird. When, I don't actually thinking about it now, when my brother lost that little Home Alone recorder that we used to have, I don't remember seeing a bird. And if you haven't heard that one's like one of the first Live with the Afterlife stories. I think it's like the second one. So go check it out, because that was a weird one. I never knew about that one until my brother told me that he found it and heard some crazy shit. During like that time period, I remember seeing it, it was gone for a little while, and then it was another one. So I maybe in between that time period with those little birds, that happened. It was truly fucking weird. And thinking about it, putting these pieces together, it's strange to think about. Especially knowing my mother's and my grandmother's background when it comes down to like witchcraft. I don't even know every single thing about them because they wouldn't tell us. Yeah, we would talk a little bit here and there, but when it came down to things like that, no. A little bit would spill out here and there, like a little trickle. That's all you get. Just a little, that's it. You don't get any more information. The stuff that we will tell you, it's safe. The stuff that we're not going to go into, we don't want you to fuck with. Okay, that's responsible of the devil. Of course it would be responsible of my grandmother. I mean, she knew a hell of a lot more, but it was still strange. After years went by, my mother she didn't pass yet. Which, if you didn't know that, my mother's gone. She's been dead for multiple years now. Grandma's been gone for longer. And I did question her. I asked her about it again. And she had the same thing where she was like, well, you never fucked with it, did you? I was like, no. Because once I got older and I got my own place and shit like that, I did notice that one fucking apartment, that there was a fucking bird and a stick under the fucking thing. And that was when my grandma was already passed and my mom was staying with us. So I did notice that it was tucked like a little bit by the door. And I seen that. And I was like, what the fuck? Here? This is my place. Why the fuck is this happening? And I didn't think about asking her. I wanted to ask my mom. She wasn't there. And, you know, ADHD makes you forgetful. So I didn't bring it up to her then, even though I should have. It probably would have been more easier for her to talk about, maybe. But I did ask her way further after. Years after, because I wasn't seeing it anymore. After she stopped living with me, and yes, living with me. I know there are some people like, oh, you still live with your mom? No, I didn't. We were homeless. I got my ass off the street. She still wanted to fucking do that. So I treated her like an adult, let her make up her own mind. She wanted to be stupid? Be stupid. I tried. I really tried. But at the end, that was her choice to do. But she still came by. She still visited. She needed like medical attention. She knew who to come to. She knew who to go to get things done. Not talking shit about my siblings, except for one of them. Fuck him. But like my older brother, he was out of the state, so he couldn't help. I mean, what can you do when you're not in the fucking same state? Shit like that. He wasn't even in the same city. So, of course, she would make a trek to come to my place or try to do what she could on her own. But during that time period, when she did come by and she lost her sight and we were talking, she started to like lose it a little bit, just a little bit, not too crazy. I did ask her again, and it's like she remembered not to say anything. I asked her, and the one fucking hint that I got from her was this. I asked her, what was with the birds? What? What was with the birds? She just looked at me and was like, what birds? What are you talking about? You know what the fuck I'm talking about. All those little birds that were outside of our door. Outside of the front door. Remember, Mom? The little birds that are always different. Little sticks and all that shit. And she just... Even though she was already legally blind, she looked at me in my face and she said, you didn't touch them ever, did you? I was like, no. But why were they always there? They were always fucking there. Why? The one little hint that I got was, well, while they were there, nothing happened to the house, right? Like, what? So yeah, nothing happened while they were there. Like, what the fuck are you talking? Is that the shit that you and Grandma were doing? Really? She's like, just don't talk about it. Don't worry about it. It's not being done anymore. You don't see him anymore, do you? He was like, no. So okay then, don't worry about it. There was one instance that I can actually say after the last one. this apartment that we were renting, first apartment on my own, it came with a garage that was separate from the apartment. I remember seeing, I went to my garage that was supposed to be a part of it, although that place was shady as shit and people were renting out the garages as little homes. Not gonna say names. Not gonna name the apartment complex. It was ghetto as fuck. But remember when I went over there, I went to see what was my garage. So my garage. And thinking, how come I can't use my garage? Whatever the fuck. Like, this is stupid. I'm gonna call and see what I could do. And I went to see it, and there was a little alligator claw. A little dried alligator claw. With, what the fuck was it? It had beads attached to it. The leather strips. Yeah, it was just right there. And I wanted to pick it up. No bullshit. I wanted to pick it up. I wanted to go up to him like, hey, look at this. What the fuck? That's fucking cool. But the devil seen it first. At that time, she's on her side. So she was like, hey, no. I was like, what? She's like, don't fucking touch that. I'm like, why? Just don't fucking touch it. Like, why? She's like, just listen to me. Don't be a dumb fuck. Don't touch it. Leave it the fuck alone. Then she tried to say, you don't know what it has on it. I was like, oh, shut the fuck up. What? Why? And she just looked at me in my face and said, don't ask me why. That's something you don't fuck with. Leave it alone. Leave it there. I think somebody's living in your garage. What? This is before we even found out that they were renting the garages out as little apartments. I looked at it, I was like, what the what? She's like, I think somebody's living in your garage. Like, but how the fuck do you know? She's like, just trust me. If you see it there, leave it the fuck alone. And I'm pretty sure somebody's living in there. So leave it the fuck alone. Like, what the fuck? She's like, are you gonna leave it? Oh, okay. She was being a fucking asshole, but figuring out after why. Okay, I understood. Took years for me to figure this out. I started to Google. I started to look it up. Pretty heavy research, just trying to find out whatever the fuck I could. Digging through the internet, trying to find anything at all that described what the fuck I was seeing. What was the point of those birds always facing the same way with a little stick and possibly that alligator claw, which was like this fucking big. I didn't get it. It took months of looking off and on because I would just get frustrated. Not being able to find anything, I was just getting fucking frustrated. It was honestly very annoying not being able to find it. So, I was about to give up. I was thinking if I don't find it right now, maybe I'll look tomorrow. Oh no, maybe I'll just give up. Fuck it. Because by that point, I haven't seen him. The devil was already blind, or dementia and schizophrenia took full effect. So whatever I asked her, she sure as fuck wasn't going to answer me. She was just going to lose her shit and think she was somewhere else. And when I was about to give up, I found it. I found something that was talking about it. A couple things, actually. And it didn't go step by step on how to do it. I didn't look all the way through. I had to do something at that time. But at that moment, I found it and it said that it was for protection. And I honestly was stunned. Because it didn't make any sense to me. It's like trying to think about it off of everything that you go through life, everything you learn, and I mean, majority of the time you're taught that this shit is fake. It's bullshit. It's not real. It doesn't happen. It doesn't affect you. It doesn't do this or this or this. It's not real. It's real to a degree. Really, it is real to a fucking degree. Because, I mean, I don't know the process of it. I don't know what needs to be done. I don't know when you can do that, what time you can do that. I don't even know if my mother or my grandmother were the ones placing them. Although my mother knew, and somehow she kept it going, but she didn't have dead birds on hand. She didn't have anything like that in her stuff. I know because I had to help her move her shit around. I had to help her like organize her fucking, what the fuck was it? Her fucking suitcase and everything. That giant rolling fucking bag she used to have. I had to help her organize everything, and we didn't find anything like that. Actually, there's one thing I found I had, and somehow it's missing. I don't know where the fuck it is, and it was hidden, and now it's gone. It was a fucking, I think it was a deer hoof. It was a deer hoof with a leg, and it was turned into a whip, and now it's gone. Unless I sent it to my brother and I don't remember. But I don't think so. I don't think so. Or unless the other fuckbag has it, and in which case he could sit and spin on that motherfucker. But as you could tell, I have a lot of animosity towards him. But really, back to the subject. It's just strange when I read that it was meant for protection. I did come across the alligator claw, and the same thing. It was meant for protection. It was like brujeria or some shit, and I was like, what the fuck? That was the alligator claw tripped me out because I wasn't really looking for that. It's just like scrolling through. Oh shit, I found the bird. I found the bird in the stick, and it's meant for protection? Who the fuck was doing it? Why were they doing it? Like, what the fuck? What was going on that they needed to do this? What were they doing that they needed to do this? Because it's meant to protect the household. It's meant to protect the home. And it said that it needs to be placed in a certain way. Every way I've seen it, every way I've found it. Where the bird was obviously dead. It was already, I don't know, I never touched them, so maybe it was just already rigor mortis, but those little fuckers were always just there stiff. If a breeze went by hard, you would just see barely any feather movement. It would just be stuck. And it's the little stick underneath. Every fucking time. So that, I don't know who was doing it. Whether it be my mother or my grandmother. There was one moment I did question my grandmother in front of my uncle, who was balls deep into all of that. Because he knew my grandma was doing, my great grandma was doing. And he fucking searched, he got really into everything, and his life was fucking weird. It was fucking weird. We didn't even know everything that he was doing. We found out after. But I asked her in front of him, and he just looked at her. Almost like the look you give somebody when you're fucking still doing that type of look. I think we got pizza, and he just glanced over, and he said something in Spanish. And since I don't know Spanish, he said something in Spanish to her, and she just like telling him, shut the fuck up. Like, don't worry about it. Like, whatever. So I don't know if it was her doing it or if it was my mom. But one of them kept placing a bird in front of our door. A dead bird. I don't know where the fuck they were getting it from. But they had an unlimited fucking supply. They would, I don't know when or where they would do it, how, nor the process, what they had to do. It's like, why is, okay, whatever. It just didn't make any fucking sense. That's why I was trying to talk to Mom. And it wasn't working out. Because even in death, Mom's a stubborn bitch. But she didn't want to say anything if it was her. So yeah, these are not always fully reliable. So, I don't know. When it comes down to that, I don't know how it was done. I just know it was always there. Pretty much my whole growing life. Now, I don't see it anywhere. I haven't, it nowhere in front of my front door, nothing. Not even close. And to see that the gator claw was for protection as well. It's like, what the fuck? If somebody messes with it, you get something done back to you, apparently. That's one thing that I did read, that if you mess with that, like if it's there and placed there specifically for a specific reason and all that shit, you take it, toy with it, whatever the fuck, that's gonna come back on you or some shit. And then their protection is gone. Which explains why when I didn't see those birds there, weird things were happening. I mean, that happened in every city that I was living in. Every fucking apartment, every home, every place, there was always that fucking bird. Those birds. It was never the same bird. Never even close. They all look different. Not varying in sizes either. I don't want to like say like, oh, it was a fucking hawk or a pigeon. No, it was always little birds. Just little birds. They weren't like, what the fuck are those? I don't know how big a finch is. And the smaller ones? Well, bloodies, let me know. But during that time, it was just strange to always see that. And it's not like they rotted. That was another thing. They didn't just rot away. For as long as I would see them, it's like they would get, I don't know, maybe mummified? I don't fucking know. They would show no sign of decomposition, but then one day they would just be gone. You would think with a dead animal in front of your home in LA, in the desert, well, yeah, you would still have it, but I mean, hey, I found a squirrel that was pretty much fucking mummified. All it was just stiff. It didn't make any sense. It was just stiff, dead right there, like a stick, just frozen. But in LA, it's all muggy, just, ugh. It just is. You see roadkill, it's not like that. If you see a dead animal, they rot, but those little birds never did. And I would see them there for fucking days, and then they'd be gone. So, I don't know. I never got that answer. What were they protecting us from? What was Granny or good Lord the devil trying to protect us from? I sounded like I was down south. You hear that shit? But really, what the fuck were they trying to protect us from? Apparently it's for the household. Seeing that was just always so weird to me. Sometimes I still think about it. That's the reason why I wanted to share the story with you today, bloodies. Because it's just something that doesn't make any sense to me as to what the fuck, why? I have no idea what they did to have to do that. Don't know. I'm never going to get that answer, and especially even after Even after the devil's death, she still won't say it. Stubborn after death. Jesus fucking Christ. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you enjoyed this telling of a long moment of my fucking life. Because, jeez. Feels like that shit happened everywhere. That did happen everywhere. This is the only time in my life after the devil passed I haven't seen that shit. It's not like I hang out with anybody who does it either. Ghoulie Julie does fuck with some of that. She does. But she doesn't do anything that requires for us to have protection or all kinds of shit all over the fucking place. So, I don't know. Like, strange things happen here. Okay, that's a given. That shit's been happening my whole fucking life. But she doesn't do anything that requires, we need a protection spell. We need a protection this, or to put it here, or this. Shit, the last thing she actually did, one of the last things. I know this is gonna sound weird. She did something where I forgot what the fuck she did. She did it away from me, but she put bread in a Ziploc bag and she put it over our door. And that's like a little good luck charm to always keep food coming into your home. I gotta lie, it worked. It working. I don't know what she did. I'm not gonna ask because it's like, well, you can't really talk about that shit once you're doing it. If you're teaching somebody to do it, they have to fucking do it. So it's like, oh, okay. I mean, that's one thing I did find out. If you're getting taught, then you have to do this shit. So when she did it, and anybody who's been over here, they see it, they ask about it, how long has it been there? By this point, years. And it's rock fucking hard. Has not molded. Nothing close. To be honest, it looks perfectly edible. It's fucking weird, but it works. It does. It's a fucking trip. And the reason why I know it works is before we started doing that, we were struggling, and even when it came down to food, we were struggling. But ever since that's been up, we could be like really fucked, and then something comes through. I don't know how to explain it. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, that's bullshit. I don't give a fuck what you think. It works. It's strange. It works. Yes, it is strange that it works, but it works. So yeah, if you don't believe me, I don't give a fuck. If you know what I'm talking about, maybe you do it too. Fucking shit. But either way, she's not doing anything that requires fucking protection spells or whatnot. So, hey, I don't know what the fuck my grandma and mom are doing to require a protection spell like that. But whatever they did, I mean, it did come back and bite my mom in the ass. Grandma, not so much. Grandma got away with a lot. She got away with a lot. Fucking shit. Hopefully you enjoyed this, bloodies. Hopefully you enjoyed a little walk down my memory lane. Just one instant from my memory lane. I swear, that one felt like skipping stones. It just, this instance, and it just trailed off from fucking there. It was really, that's what it was. It was different moments that ultimately led to one weird fucking outcome. Bloody hell. So this is where I end it. As usual, this will be on Patreon. And if you're seeing this here on Patreon, remember you could download it along with the artwork from all the past episodes. Something just pricked my finger. The fuck? There's nothing up here. Maybe talking about it wasn't a good idea. Mom, is that you? You bitch. Ah, fucking shit. But yeah, you can download all of the artwork from all the past episodes, including all the artwork that's already there. Bloodies, smaller selection. Best Bloodies, larger selection. I really wish I could put the prices lower, so that way it's more affordable, especially nowadays. Jesus shit. But I have no control over that until more people become a part of it. Then I can adjust it, apparently. Fucking stupid. But you know what? Just to double check, I'm going to go through that. I'm going to see what I can do. Because honestly, it seems a little fucking stupid that you can't just adjust it the exact same way you want. I don't know. Maybe they've updated it. I'll give it a check. Oh, also, this will be on YouTube and Spotify. So if you want to watch it at home, feel free. Watch it at home on YouTube. If you want to take it with you on the go, Spotify. And it's free. Remember, you comment, follow, like, all that shit on all of them. If you have your own moment in your life, something you couldn't explain, or something that you found out later in life that you were going through your entire fucking life, like what just happened with me. If you have a story and you would like to be on here, please let me know. There are still a good amount of stories. Not a fuck ton, but I still have some more stories from me and bloodies just like you. Oh, merch, threadless, and don't forget to check out the gameplays on Twitch. You could see it live. I just make sure you put it for notifications. I always do it later at night, although there has been one moment where I had to do it early. So, depends. But they'll all be there. So if you want to see me playing a video game live, talking shit, freaking the fuck out, you can talk to me there too. Say whatever the fuck you want. I don't care if it's anything really bad. I am not going to repeat. Because that has happened. And I'm not going to repeat it unless I can get away with it. If it sounds very bad, I'm just going to look like, wow, you're fucked up. Laugh. That's it. Like, you're a dick or whatever the fuck. If there's a game you like, or if there's a game you think I should play based on my fucking reactions, feel free. Let me know. If I have it, if I played it, we'll see. Let me know. I believe I already said merch on Threadless. I believe so. I am adding newer stuff. Yes, I'm going to be adding newer stuff. So, yeah, there's that. As for right now, you can go ahead and take off, bloodies. Because I'm going to try to reach out to Granny. Maybe Granny will tell me. I don't know. But for right now, I think that's about it. Bye, bloodies.